everyone, welcome. So I realized that it's dark. You will get to see the cards that get picked in better lighting, I promise. Please bear with me. I've got a new camera and figuring things out. Hopefully the quality will improve in the future, especially with summer coming. Hopefully I'll be able to do some outside. So anyway, before I get started, well, let me tell you what the video is. This video is going to be a tarot reading video for everyone for the astrological month of Taurus 2015. So that is April 20th to May 20th, 2015. Now, for everyone who didn't watch the Tarot Coming Soon video, please watch that because it's got some explanation of how I'm going to be doing these readings. But just to give you a little brief if you haven't watched that. The way I'm going to do these is very different than anything else I've seen on YouTube. What I've decided to do is I am going to draw the cards for you, and then I'm going to get off camera. I'm going to write down my immediate perceptions. Then I will read the booklet. I will be meditating on them. I will be journaling further. And when I feel a sense of completion, like I've gotten everything that I'm supposed to get, I will come back on video and I will finish the reading for you. Alright, so let's get started. The first deck I'm using is the Osha Zen Tarot. Also, I don't like to shuffle my cards. I'm not very good at shuffling, so I mix them like this. Now our card from this deck is Guidance, which is 3 of rainbows. And that's 3 of Pentacles in other deck. Next deck that I'm using is the Navigators of the Mystic, I keep saying it wrong, Navigators Tarot of the Mystic Sea. Card from this deck is the Hermit card, Exaltation. The last deck that I'm using is the White Eagle Medicine Wheel deck. Now, these cards deal with reverse as well as the regular way. So I'm going to be flipping some of them around while I shuffle. And our card from this deck is Porcupine Reverse. I'm back. It's been a few days. My time anyway. So I'm back to finish the reading. I'm going to start by saying that, this was a really beautiful spread, and I'm really touched and honored that these cards came up for me to read for this month. A
couple chakras really came to mind: the throat chakra, especially the heart chakra, and also the third eye chakra with intuition. And I guess you could look further into the crown chakra. It's definitely about the crown chakra also. But at first, the first thing that came to my mind was the throat chakra and the heart chakra. And for all of you who don't know much about chakras, they're like energy wheels within our body. There's 7 main ones that go up the body. I mean, I'm not going to get into numbers. There are a lot of chakras in your body. But they work together, kind of. The chi or energy flows through them. So when you're in balance, ideally you want your chakras to work harmoniously with each other. They're not isolated, is what I'm trying to point out. So the throat chakra and the heart chakra are right next to each other. The throat chakra is actually governed by Taurus, which is the solar month that I'm doing this reading for. So very exciting. Now, if you look at these first 2 cards also, you can see a commonality with the color schemes. There's a lot of blue and green in them. Now, Guidance and the Hermit, I kind of received a message from these 2 cards working together, and then I received another message from the 3 of them working together. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put out some specific recommendations in the beginning of the video right now for people to do, and then I'm going to get more into a traditional type of reading and explain how I came to this. More meditation, get back into nature and connect with nature, have quiet time, try to detach from clutter on a mental level, emotional level, physical level. Even if that means just leaving the clutter and stepping away from it for a while, if your home's cluttered or something like that, cleaning it would probably be good, but even just going outside for a couple hours, like to the beach or to a garden or just a nice spot that isn't cluttery, doing that, meditate in the bath, something like that. Have more quiet time, alone time. Alright, so the Hermit card and the Guidance card. Now, Guidance is telling us that we need to reconnect with our intuition, clear the pathway to our higher self, to source, to learn to recognize our intuition and pay attention to it, to act upon it. Because when you act in such a way that you are listening to and honoring your intuition, the more that you do that, the more easily you are going to recognize it as intuition in the future. People become confused and so detached from their intuition that they actually can't recognize it for what it is sometimes, and they don't know whether messages they're receiving, hunches, things like that, are intuition and intuitive guidance, or if it's their ego. So it's really important. Now, the Hermit card's message is that sometimes in order to do this, we have to get away. We have to go off by ourselves for a while. The Hermit card also speaks of being frugal, letting go of excess. So that message from these 2 cards is really do what you need to do to reconnect with your intuition and to let go of excesses and the clutter and confusion. Our day-to-day lives, really, for most of us, we have a lot of clutter in them and excess in them. there's a surface reality and a surface truth, and then there's a deeper truth. And the deeper truth can be found by reconnecting with nature, with source, with self, the intuition, with your heart and your inner guidance. And we need to step back, step away from our interactions with others and patterns that we're in, be it routines, or be it more of a mental emotional thing, like addictions. But sometimes it's just we develop things in childhood, ways of dealing with things, protecting ourselves, and we keep replaying it over and over again in situations where it's not to our benefit to use that. So look at your life, look at where there are patterns that you don't like. If you attract friends that, as an example, if you attract friends, so-called friends, that gossip about you, and that's been a pattern in your life for a while, you want to look at that, because it's going to be something you're doing, something you're putting out there, some sort of belief system you have that is calling this to you, that's magnetizing it towards you. So anything like that feels really like stuck and redundant and like you keep going in a circle with, try to step back away from it. And like I said, again, even if that means just taking some time to yourself this month to walk in the woods or meditate or whatever, if you can develop a regular habit of doing this, I think that'll be very helpful this month, because these cards are really calling out for us to come home to the deeper truth that lies within us, come home to our power. There's a lot of things on the surface that appear to be true that really aren't the deeper truth. So if you feel powerless in some situation, things like that, there's a superficial layer, and these cards are really telling us to step back away from it as much as we can, reconnect with earth and spirit, sky, nature, inner peace, and then we can feel the deeper truth, and the actions that we take, the things that we say, where we'll be coming from that place, will put us on the path we want to be on. Also, these cards, and now I'm picking up reverse porcupine's influence. These cards are suggesting that it's time to kind of loosen up a little bit, be a little more lighthearted, not take things so seriously, not get stuck in the details, and to see the bigger picture and our interconnectedness with everything. Our problems, our suffering, whatever, they matter, they do, but if you get stuck in a place of kind of self-importance and you keep thinking about it and haggling on it, it's really not helping you anyway. I feel like the cards are an invitation to come home. You're connected to the universe does care. Step back away from the details, away from the patterns, out of that superficiality. Go sit with a tree, relax, get back to simplicity. Taurus is big on simplicity also, and it's an earth sign for grounding. So all of these things can really help you. Now, that has to do with the heart chakra. I really do feel like these cards are about being able to more fully open your heart chakra and radiate that outwards. More lightheartedness, love, compassion for others, and yourself for that matter. joy, not take everything so seriously, and come from that place, be speaking from that place. I'm not asking you to fake it, I'm asking you to come home. Get in touch with your intuition, start doing things that allow you to better recognize your intuition, develop that, and come from that place. And the throat chakra, deals with truth, deals with hearing, listening, speaking, communication, verbal and writing, and all of that. So what I'd like to do also is with the porcupine reverse, there's really several different messages in that card, and I think I'm going to read right out of the book for that and just talk a little bit more about it. Reversed porcupine may warn that you have been naive or too trusting in some situation. Have you made yourself too vulnerable? If so, you will need porcupine's protection. And before I go on, because there's more, I need to say that this is very easy to do when we get disconnected from our intuition, our high self, nature, source energy. It's very easy to do when we get busy in our lives and we're looking outside for the answers rather than within. Okay. So alternatively, you may have become over serious or self-important. Let porcupine teach you the joy of a childlike open heart. Maybe you have ceased to trust in life through hurt or difficult circumstances. In the same way as a child returns to mother and father, return to Mother Earth in great spirit for the comfort and reassurance that you are seeking. Have you let the sharp quills of another's unkind words or thoughtless actions penetrate your skin? If so, it may be necessary to face them with their faults in order to heal your wounds and extract the quills. Remember that adversity can strengthen your spirit. So that's another message as well. It's important for us now to speak up for ourselves. If somebody has been saying things to you that are unkind, if they've hurt you in some way in their actions, whether it's intentional or not intentional, carrying that around, suppressing it, not giving it back to the person that it came from in the form of standing up for yourself and letting them know, is just carrying around baggage. And the Hermit card says no baggage. You're going on a spiritual journey. You're going to pack the essentials, nothing else. You're going to trust in yourself and the universe, and you're going to go on a trip. You're going to leave, your everyday world behind. All these things that have become tiresome, you're going to leave it all behind. You're going to go walk in the woods, and you're going to sit under a tree like the Buddha did, and you're going to reconnect with the higher truth. In this guidance card, if you look closely, you can see there's two figures. There's a woman in the background, and there's this angelic-like figure. The angelic-like figure is flying off. She's got all these yellows and oranges, these lighter colors. She's flying towards the sun. And this other figure doesn't have wings. She's not flying. She's hanging out kind of in the darker colors here in the background, and she's looking away. So this is the shadow side of your intuition. This is, well, I shouldn't say that. This is the part of you that resists your intuition, that is afraid to fly, to be free, is afraid of that for whatever reason. And I can think of reasons. It could be that if you're feeling really good, you might lose that feeling, and not, there is a resistance. There is a resistance that we often take to listening to our intuition. Sometimes it's scary, sometimes it doesn't logically make sense, and sometimes we fear that it's not our intuition at all. But this figure is, looking away. It's the scared one, and this one is the one that's flying and taking off. So It's about learning how to integrate these, recognize your inner guidance, your intuition, follow it, become more comfortable with it, so you can feel lighter, less bogged down, more happier, more free. And the weather is getting nice, you know, it's late April and May, springtime, it's beautiful. So who doesn't want to be happy and enjoy that as much as they can? You know? So it's not about isolating yourself, but it is about doing a spring cleaning. And you know, the universe will do a lot of the work for you if you just walk away from the mess and walk to, you know, the universe, walk to nature, walk to the peace, the quiet, and settle in there. It'll take care of some things for you. If, on the other hand, you're going to be stuck in your clutter and obsessing about it and not, you know, look the other way to your inner guidance, to the beauty that's out there or whatever, then you may be stuck in it. Anyhow, that's what I'm getting. The flow is there. You're supported by the universe to come home and to relax, to lighten up. If you lighten up, it's going to make you happier, feel freer, more joyous, and it's going to radiate outward to others. So it's really a service you're doing not only for yourself, but for everyone else. And I feel like that's what the energies want, what the universe wants to celebrate spring with us and have us all dancing around, being merry, to leave the heaviness of winter behind. This Hermit card may also, for some people, be talking about specific things where they need to go at it alone, projects. This could be things that you perhaps thought you were going to do with another person, in a partnership, or with a group of people, but you may be getting some inner guidance, some sort of feeling or inclination that that isn't going to work. There may be conflict or negativity and struggle with it. So if you feel like excuse me, so if you feel like breaking away from the group or out of the partnership, you feel like you'd rather do it on your own, that might be a message for you. You know, I'm thinking like career ventures, business partnerships. This might be family dynamics for some people, living situations. It could be all kinds of things. So if you're in that sort of situation where you're feeling like, I thought this was going to work, we were going to have a partnership, or we were going to do this as a group, now it doesn't seem like it's going to be able to be functional. It doesn't seem like we're going to be able to work together and collaborate and do this. This Hermit card may be talking to you, saying, you know, hey, leave the baggage behind, go find your strength on your own. You need to do something on your own instead. Again, go back to the first card, you know, the guidance card, and try to tune into your intuition and your inner guidance and let go of the other stuff that our minds and our emotions sometimes confuse us with, and see how you feel. You know, maybe try to forget about it for a while, and sometimes when we're in the when we're in a relaxed state, that is most conducive to our higher self communicating with us, for the most part. I mean, there are situations where people fight or flight, adrenaline, emergency stuff happens, and they're not in a relaxed state at all, and then, you know, they get an intuitive hit. But for the most part, the intuition doesn't do well at, you know, getting into a boxing ring and beating up your ego and beating up, you know, your logic and your fear and all of that stuff to be the loudest one, the winner, the one remaining, and be heard. You kind of have to get out of the boxing ring, sit down, be quiet, drink some water, and, you know, then maybe you can hear the intuition sitting next to you talking softly. Also, I want to say the full moon this month is going to be in Scorpio. So I think that we really want to do this. We really want to lighten our load with any excess negativity and struggles and things that we've been carrying around, all that extra baggage. Really want to lighten our load from that, like the cards indicate, because Scorpio is a deep sign. It's the deep sea sign. It's the underworld sign. It's life, rebirth. It's life, death, rebirth. It's recycling. It's rejuvenating. It's recreating. It's sex. It's passion. You know, it's ruled by Mars and Pluto. It's very intense. I have a lot of planets in Scorpio, so I know firsthand its influences can be intense. And so, you know, embracing this Taurian energy of calm and peace and serenity, of relaxation, sensuality, simplicity, getting back into basics, and letting go of the excesses. The first half of this month, before the full moon comes in Scorpio, ought to be a good preparation to better allow us to make the most of the Scorpio full moon. This is how I feel about it anyway, and I feel like the cards are supporting this also. The cards may have triggered this coming out of my mouth, but what was I going to say? I just lost my train of thought. In the same way that, you know, you're going to have more energy if you are carrying, you know, if you're not carrying anything, and you go for a walk, you're going to have more energy when you make it to your destination of, you know, let's call it 400 feet, okay, up the road, than you are if you're lugging 5 heavy suitcases behind you and, you know, a big heavy backpack on your back. It's that kind of thing that I'm seeing here with the energies leading up to this full moon. And that's not to say that you should be fearful of the full moon or that it's bad in any way. It has the ability to be very good, very wonderful, very helpful. It's just that it can be intense, and it's apt to be intense, and so we want to be more relaxed so the intensity is not overpowering and overwhelming and exhausting and all of that, and so that we're freer to make the most of it. So thanks for letting me read your cards. Please leave in the comments that you wish to below, and share the video if you'd like to. Alright, that's all I have, so I'm closing it up. Merry part, merry meet again.